Greetings and salutations, my fellow skeletons. 'Tis I, the Master of the Crypt, bringing you a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. This campaign is a tribute to our dearly departed friend, Jason David Frank. Most well known for his acting as the Green and White Power Rangers in the multiple different series of Power Rangers, he created his own form of martial arts and even got inducted into the Karate Hall of Fame for it. It is in the spirit of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that this campaign is a tribute to. You may skip this next bit if you don't want to know anything about this universe and setting and just want to get into the thick of it. There are timestamps in the description. This campaign is hosted through StartPlaying.Games and played using the Roll20 virtual tabletop system. Every person participating in this campaign requested to play the game through the website and have lives of their own outside it. The intent is to play every Saturday evening, but sometimes life gets in the way, so expect players to come and go as needed. They are aware and have consented to these sessions being recorded for entertainment purposes. This is a medieval fantasy take on Power Rangers, changing them from bodysuit martial artists into kitted out medieval knights in shining armor, from cool robots to cool mythological creatures, and from goofy science powers to fantastical magical ones, granted by their bonded mythical creatures. They are Grand Knights, appointed representatives from each of the 7 nations of this setting, who are sent out into the world to smite evil, save the innocent, and maybe get up to some tomfoolery or, dare I say it, shenanigans. I apologize for a portion of the video which contains the sound effects of using a browser mod when I look up something during the session. It is fixed shortly after. I just wanted to apologize for the distraction. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video, the first of its series. If you enjoy it, please feel free to toss in a like and tell us what you thought of it. I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you have a blessed remainder of your day. And that is the step-by-step process of how babies are made.
Fantastic. That's great lore.
Can we next time learn how to walk on the sun? Is it when when it's nighttime?
No, weren't you paying attention? That's part of the process.
Oh shit.
Babies are hard to make.
They take so much effort.
Well, that's why it's 200 steps.
So much.
200
I didn't know
steps.
ritual sacrifice was involved either.
Mm-hmm.
As step 150. It's after the tortillas and the magnets.
So is it diesel or regular that you have to feed them with?
It's like premium.
What about the windshield wipers for their eyes? I forget how that works.
You have to get it at your local child pieces store.
Okay, but what happens if you can't find kosher salt?
You're gonna have to stick with like either Himalayan or just not use any salt at all.
That's a skippable step? I forgot what the substitute was.
I'd have to look it up again. But we should probably just play D&D at this point then.
Damn.
That's a good point, yeah.
Oh my god. So, to get this started, let us have a brief introduction of each of our characters, each of your characters, I'm sorry. Their physical descriptions, like what they're wearing, all that kind of stuff, weapon, the name of their bonded companion, and what it is. So we'll start off at the top of the list, which would be Loki.
Oh no, I'm bringing up my character sheet. I'm so unprepared. Loki is... Load.
Come on, we are professionals.
So professional.
Professional.
No, nothing's working. Oh no.
I believe in
you. Thank you so much. Someone has to believe in me.
Oh no, that's oh no.
Oh no. Loki is a Harrigan, which is just like a rabbit person. He's black fur everywhere except for a little patch on his forehead is white. He's got those like amber hair like eyes that are traditionally associated with more wild rabbits. He wears like kind of black torn armor and stuff. He's got he's kind of he always just kind of looks a little banged up. He is 2 foot 9 inches tall and weighs 34 pounds, so he is tiny, tiny, tiny. And he is 21 years old. His bonded companion is Starsinger, who is a unicorn with a black horn.
And wings.
And wings. Oh, I forget. Here you.
Next one would be Izumi.
My character is a Leonin albino lion samurai. And I am the Red Knight. My bonded companion is a phoenix named Kasai. I dual wield katanas. Fire is my element of choice. And I am wearing samurai armor. And I'm a very tall. I'm 7'7", 377 pounds. I have orange eyes. I look very intense and intimidating. I have I guess you guys will figure that out later. Am I missing anything?
What does he wear when he's not wearing like his fancy armor?
Just has like samurai robes that are kind of red and white, and maybe they have like Japanese flowers on them or Chinese flowers. I don't know. I did not write that part down.
We're professionals.
Yes, we do this every day. Nothing else.
That's actually pretty accurate for what I've been doing these past few days.
All right, so the next one is Cassius.
So Cassius is a orc. He is blue. His orc kind are all blue, maybe because they are have something to do in relation to the Blue Knight. He stands at 6 foot, over 6 feet tall, 250 pounds, almost as wide as he is tall. Wears Greco-Roman armor when he is in his battle attire. He is bonded to Imperatrix, who he likes to call Trix. She is a world turtle. He is a cleric of Ol Narime, a Tempest cleric, and he wears a toga when in his casual wear, like a Greek toga.
Okay, Barbaros, it is your turn. Mr. Carlos, that's you.
I was trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
So my character is Barbara, named after a barbarian, and Carlos. And I am the Black Knight. I'm a red tiefling, 200 pounds heavy, 5'8" tall. I'm a red tiefling, and that pretty much got me bullied all throughout life because of the other popular tiefling colors. And I wield a family heirloom greatsword.
What does he wear?
Oh, he likes to wear black. He's wearing like a black tunic and black trousers and black boots, and his hair's black, and his eyes are black. Think The Witcher, but his skin is red. And he has ram horns.
So he's a slightly demony looking Geralt?
Yes, with a great sword.
Okay. Who is his bonded companion and what is it?
My bonded companion is a chimera. Doesn't look like most other chimeras, but her name is uh Victory, Vicky for short. She also has ram's horns. She is a lion. She has some snake attributes. She is very generous and kind.
All right. So next one is Borb.
Hi. Orb, also known as Sazun, is a albino Kenku bard who plays on the bird pipes. Typically wears like leather armor adorned with like bone and stuff to show like his heritage of being and he is bonded to a also albino Coatl, and his name is Slinky or oh goodness, Montezuma.
And he's an albino too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Last one is Asim.
The Seam is the Yellow Knight of Wisdom. He comes from a noble background, so he kind of carries himself with a bit of flair. He's 25, 5'11", 175 pounds, with silver eyes, light brown skin, and dark brown hair, with which is pulled back into a ponytail under his helmet. He wears a sort of fantasy pre-Greco-Roman Egyptian armor, and when he's not in this armor, he is wearing probably a nice white shirt with black pants and tan pants and black boots, black riding boots. His bonded is a very good boy. Is a basilisk named Oro, because I am so creative, and Oro is very popular with the ladies. Apparently, I've learned this now. Was there anything else I needed to add?
No, that's pretty much it. To catch us up on where we are as far as your characters are concerned, you have spent the last 2 years being trained to be the next generation of Grand Knights. You graduated a week ago, had a nice week-long vacation with whomever your character spends their off time with, family, friends, that kind of stuff, in the fancy, noble houses that you've been all given. And then today is the day you came back. You find yourselves, after using the fancy amulets that you've been given, on the teleporter pad right outside the giant pink crystal castle that you spent the last 2 years of your life in. The door is closed. As a brief description, this is a pocket dimension that excuse me. This is a pocket dimension that exists solely for your use. It is a flat plane of purple and pink grass. The dirt is kind of pinkish, and the trees are also purple and pink. The only man-made building is, of course, the giant crystal castle. The sky is a myriad of nebula that changes every night. And the only way to get here is those fancy amulets that you have. Each one having your country's crest on it and a fancy like gold medallion. No one else can use your medallion. Um, so yeah, it's mainly just for you. You find yourselves in the vast emptiness that is this plain. You see to the south of you, other than the lights that uh, keep this place lit. Strange fact is that despite that you've never seen the sun here, everything is fairly lit up as if the sun was there. The shadows never change directions. It's just sunny without any sunlight. You have just arrived. What do your characters do before you go inside?
Azim is going to look at the ground again and just say, and I was finally getting used to the sand again.
And we're coming back just after visiting, right? Our families were.
Yes.
Okay. Cassius would look off into the ocean then.
There is no ocean.
Before.
There is a underwater or like a underground piece of like where you sleep with Trix. That's like an underground reservoir that she can run around in. But otherwise, it's all flat land. Unless you're talking about like the ocean before you transport it.
Yeah, before I transport, I would
Gotcha.
look off at the ocean, since it might be a while since before I see it again.
Ord just sits there and kind of ruffles his feathers, and he's like, "Finally, some peace and quiet."
Before Barbaros goes back, he's gonna say goodbye to his sister one final time.
She sadly waves back and says, "See you again next time."
Izumi's gonna say, Takai, how was your training?
Josiah, you know it's not training. We just got back. Vacation. Vacation. How was your vacation? Mine was well.
Mine was very well, thank you.
All your little bonded companions in their smaller infant forms are somewhere located upon your bodies, except for Starsinger. There's no way a 2 foot tall bunny can carry a full horse. You have the choice of either riding your unicorn buddy while he's in his infant state, because it's still a size category bigger than you, or just walk along like you normally would.
Probably walking along like normal.
Okay.
Uro is just slithering around Azim's arm.
It's very Ouroboros of him.
Yes. I told you I was creative.
Uh-huh.
Vicky would be riding on my shoulder.
Oh, Vicky.
Victory.
Trix is currently tied up like a backpack, munching on some fresh seaweed.
You could hear audibly the crunch. I should know it's fresh seaweed, so it's more like a noodly kind of stuff.
Mushy noise.
Because she'd have like the beak that's slightly like a snapping turtle.
Mm.
So it would be making some very
Interesting noises.
yeah. Man. Slinky would probably look like like one of
He
those like.
kind of hangs around me like a bandolier
Oh, there you go.
and just kind of like keeps his head, like his wings back towards my back and his head up on my shoulder.
He's just vibing.
Yes.
Kasai, if I remember correctly, you had decided that Kasai would look like a falcon.
No, the size of Phoenix.
Well, yeah, but you had to choose what bird it looks like.
Oh, more of a hawk, I think. Was that not one of the choices?
I was trying to. It's a kite, is what you had chosen it to be. Because I looked up predatory birds of Japan, and the one that you chose was the black kite. Because it's kind of like it's a slightly smaller bird of prey. But instead of being the normal like black and white that it looks like, it's instead like different like flamey colors. There's green and blues in there in some places. Otherwise, it looks like a bird.
What were my other choices? I don't remember.
There's like a sparrowhawk. Um, there's like a couple of the larger birds of prey. Um, crane, that sort of deal. I have to load it up again.
What about the Eurasian sparrowhawk? That looks kind of cool.
Sure, we can do it that way if you like.
I mean, the black kite does kind of look like a hawk, though, but like you said, a smaller version. But with me being so big, I think I need a bigger unless it's gonna be big enough for me to ride.
Well, once it, when you turn it into its mount size, then it's always big enough for you to ride. It's just what the aesthetic of the bird looks like in like when it's not on fire.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm okay with the black kite or the Eurasian sparrowhawk. It just looks really cool. But that is a smaller bird and looks a little less intimidating. I'm just looking at pictures of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll stick with the black kite.
Okay. And I'm assuming you'd have Kasai just kind of like perched on your shoulder kind of deal.
Yeah. Actually, my samurai helmet, there's like horns that kind of go out and up, and he perches right there. Or she perches right there.
Okay. Just kind of had like a bird perch on your head. You are free to wander around if you wish. To the very far south, you have the like weapon training area where you would use the target setup to do spells or ranged attacks of some kind. You have the like bodies kind of scarecrow ones um, to do more precise aiming. Any of your person-to-person training was either up against Sir William or, ironically enough, against one of your fellow Grand Knights. So you trained against each other.
Azim is going to stumble off of the platform and kind of go into this corner where you can hear retching sounds. Oro goes and pretty much ties Azim's hair back in with its body.
Are you all right, Franny?
I am good. Good.
You'll get used to it, the teleportation at some point.
One day.
Perhaps he's dying, says Uro, staring directly back at Cassius.
I don't think that's it, Uro. But in the case that he might, I'll be here.
Strangely enough, you cannot find, or you do not see where Uro's glasses are at the moment, so his staring is more like squinty kind of stare. You can't tell if it's just because he can't see you or if he finds you very suspicious.
Azim finally Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Azim finally gets up and thanks you and goes to the archery targets.
Cassius will follow you and kind of pull back his hand. Trix, would you mind giving me some of those leaves that help with motion sickness?
You hear like this like rustling as she puts her rather large turtley hands into essentially like a fanny pack. And you see her like hold out these. Well, you don't really see it, but you feel her arm come up and touch yours, and has a bunch of the herbs that you're asking for. It's like, here you go, sweetie.
Thank you, Trix. And I'll hand it over to Azim. It's grown on Trix's back.
Azim gratefully takes the herbs. Thank you. He replies pretty meekly.
You could put them in a tea. I recommend the tea. Put a little bit of honey in it. Your throat's gonna feel all nice.
I would take her advice. It's a delicious tea.
He nods and actually tries to shake himself out of it by going back to repetitive motions, which for him would be his archery. And he knocks up an arrow to shoot, and he's still feeling a little bit off, so it's not a dead hit.
You skim the rim of the target that you aimed at. The arrow that you shot just kind of whizzes, and you're not necessarily sure how far back it went.
I only have a few of those right now. So he goes off to fire the arrow.
Do a perception check.
Okay. Gets him now. Perception. Did it appear?
Yeah, it showed up. After digging around a little bit, you're able to find that it went really deep into one of the hay bales that is set up behind the targets. You had to have Uro go in and pull the arrow out with his teeth. But
Thank you, Oro.
You
He just sits on the haystack and just looks just very upset right now.
You all hear a bell kind of ring from the interior of the castle, which tells you that your meal is ready.
Excellent. I'm starving.
The Pink Princess playset?
No?
Ooh, hot rations. Can't wait.
Food.
This is homemade food.
I wonder where Sir William is.
Sir William's food is always good. And this place is always very mystical. I wonder where he gets the food from.
He must have a garden here hidden somewhere, right?
What about the meat?
Perhaps he travels outside, although I haven't seen him do that recently.
Perhaps.
The smell of fresh cooked meat and all sorts of other breakfasty kinds of foods draws you deeper into the interior of the castle until you find yourselves in the you call it like a conference room, the meeting room, if you would like. It's where the grand crystal is that tells you information, such as like all the different lessons that the old man Zethedramel would tell you, who is conveniently standing on the opposite side of the main table in the middle. He is your what would you call it? Stereotypical old wizard man. He's got a very long white beard. He's wearing a gray hooded robe. His hands are inside of his sleeves. He's kind of stooped from the egregious amount of years that he has lived. And as you step into the main part of the castle, you are greeted with one of his big grandfatherly smiles. His green eyes just twinkle with the delight of having to see you again. And he says, "Welcome back, grand knights," and bows, and his hands, all gnarled with age, sweep out to either side of him, and he says, "The food is ready. I made it once again for your delight. I hope that you enjoy it."
Ah, good man. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Smells delicious as always.
I appreciate your kind words.
Thank you so much. He immediately goes to what looks like cinnamon rolls.
Let me just grab one of these plates and just load it up with as many cinnamon rolls as is can fit on it.
Izumi eats the fish.
The whole thing?
He
I'm
just
going
has
for
to-
Just like
he
picks
just
it.
takes the whole plate. If I could pick that up, I'd take it back to the table.
What have you been up to, Zedramel, in your time gone?
Are you talking about the about Zethedramel?
Zethra, yeah.
Well, I don't really do too much. I've picked up on my knitting again. You'll find that in your bedrooms I've left you gifts. I went back into reading again. I got visited by several of my very, very distant descendants. But otherwise, just kept an eye on things with this fancy crystal behind me. How?
What books have you been reading?
Probably nothing that you'd be interested in. Lots of history from perspectives other than my own, having lived through most of it.
Azim finds his food and heads back to the empty table.
If you need to, if you hold Alt while moving your little token around, you can have him sit square on one of the chairs if you'd like.
Mm.
Because right now they snap to each of the little squares. So if you just hold
Mhm.
Alt and move him around, that'll get it so that he can sit on one of the chairs better.
Loki's got his non-meat based food. Digging it.
Starsinger was like following you around, and he's
Hmm.
tall enough that his head comes up above the table. So he helped out with one of the plates and put a bunch of the vegetarian options on his.
We have the same dietary restrictions.
So you have almost the exact same plates.
Mm-hmm.
He is just loudly crunching, and he's just. This is so good. It's like they're just leaves, bro.
Yeah, I bring my big plate of fish, set it down, and I bring Loki a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Zima's gonna put the leaves into his cup and pour some boiling water on it, so he can finally get some settling of his stomach before he eats.
It definitely smells like herbal tea. Your like sinuses are kind of cleaned up, and your head stops spinning for a little bit.
Cassius will take Trix and put her on the table so she can eat off of the plate directly.
She eats very slowly. And also, ironically enough, as loud as Starsinger does. Were you saying something, Carlos?
I'm sorry. What?
I just didn't know if you. I thought you were gonna say something. I saw your thing light
No.
up for a second.
No, I don't have anything to say. I'd like to feed a turkey leg directly to Vicky.
It's a bit big for her, but she is definitely game. Like picks it up in both of her tiny kitten hands, and just goes.
Oh, that's cute.
Are
I'm
companions
curious.
with us?
Oh, that's cute.
Are the companions with us in here?
They always are.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give Kasai some fish.
He just like chugs it all down or each fish down in one gulp.
I'm very interested to see what Uro would do.
He just like slowly like eats one, but like maintaining eye contact with you as he does so, and you can just see it like slowly go down, because he's a tiny snake.
Oh no, not the prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact.
Azim is used to this by now, so he just gives him a nod and goes about eating his own food. He has a bit of crumbs in his beard because of the cinnamon roll, so he just brushes them off.
As you all sit down to eat, um, Zethedramel starts talking about what is expected of you now that you are officially the next generation of Grand Knights. I'm glad to see you again after your week-long vacation. I'm assuming you all had a decent time of it?
Yes.
Sure,
spent-
let's say that.
I spent the whole week with my sister in our house. She's a lovely person.
Always glad to hear it. As you have returned, you are no longer knights in training. You will no longer have your hands so-called held by your teachers. You are now, for better or for worse, on your own. And as is expected of you, as soon as you finish eating today, your first mission will start. Now, normally, you would go out into the different nations of the Pact and find jobs suitable for your training level. However, with the recent events in Zalashtar, with the attempt to destroy the primordial beacon, things have gotten a little bit strained. You see the giant crystal behind him light up, and images cover the surfaces of the tables that you're sitting at, even across the tablecloths that sit over the tables. You see the like images of the attempted destruction of the beacon, the explosive end of the cultist that tried to destroy it. You see the different cat folk of Zalashtar turning it into a military state, um, or martial law. I'm sorry, police state. And then other images start flowing by as other nations start reacting to this blatant attempt of terrorism until it finally lands on Nehu Torop, the homeland of the dragons and reptile people. Today is the start of the ancestral festival, where all of the dragon knights of Nehutorum come together and celebrate their lineage of greatness. Almost everyone in Nehutorum is, as you know, bonded to either a dragon or a wyvern. However, since this is a festival, everyone from every walk of life is invited. Now, why this is important is that over the last several weeks, people have gone missing. This could happen while they are on their way home from whatever event they were attending, while at work, blatantly in the middle of the marketplace. They would be there 1 second and then suddenly gone the next. Now, a few have been found, unscathed, alive, a little bit dizzy and confused. Perhaps a case of simply getting lost. However, most have not been found. It is the belief that some of these people were taken by either members of a necro cult or perhaps something more nefarious. Your
Or
first
speaks up and goes, "Are there any patterns?
any what?
Patterns?
Oh, to those who have gone missing?
Yes.
No, they are all seemingly at random. It perhaps is a matter of access or um, oh, what's the phrase?
Are there any other clues?
Not that I am aware of. There is an investigator a librarian, whom you will meet upon your arrival at the festival. He is currently situated inside the Dragon's Maw Tavern in the ancestral Eyrie. He will be your source of information about your mission. He will cover everything that you would need to know. The only information I currently have is that he believes he has found where some of them have been going. There is a series of caverns located along the the Dragon Spine Mountains that he believes these individuals have gone missing inside of. He will have more information upon your arrival. As far as patterns or any other information, you will have to ask him.
I see. Thank you, my good sir.
You are, of course, welcome. Do you have any...
Did we all train together?
Yes. The
okay.
entire 2 years you spent together. These are the only, 20 people that you've seen over the last 2 years, other than the last week where you saw a lot more. Because there were the 7 of you, and then each of your mentors, and then, of course, all of you got to see Sir William, all of you got to see Zethedramel.
Sir William, can I take these cinnamon rolls or lemon squares to go? These lemon square looking things.
You can probably find one of the smaller plates somewhere, or just grab a napkin.
Okay.
The lemon squares are my personal favorite. They're the ones that I spent the most time on because lemon is my favorite. Of course, if Sir William was actually here, he would have taken most of them. Despite being a paladin, he is very greedy when it comes to the lemon squares.
I see.
I suppose I have a question about this. Why is it that they left it up to a librarian to investigate?
Well, they are so their name, like their each individual's title is the librarian errant. They are a organization dedicated to keeping your family and friends safe. You wouldn't have known this unless I've told you. There is at least one trio of librarians watching each of your family homes, making sure that none of your soon-to-be growing list of enemies try to hurt them.
I see.
Your sister has one watching the house that you have been given. Everybody else's family pretty much has one as well.
And I'm very grateful, but why have I not met them before?
You're not supposed to. They're not doing their job if you know who they are.
I see. I see. Thank you.
Well, they sound capable. Will we get to work with somebody like that?
You'll be able to meet one as soon as you arrive in Nehutorum.
Is there any more fish?
I could probably find some in the back, assuming that we still have some left over. I don't get very many shipments nowadays. Something to do with the wilding starting to act up again.
My big belly is not full yet. I need more sustenance.
I'm sorry?
Fry the turkey.
I'll go and grab the big plate of turkey. And
A whole thing?
And the whole plate. And I'll bring Loki another cinnamon roll.
Wait, hold on a second.
I growl. Oh, don't touch that cinnamon roll.
I'm not concerned about the cinnamon roll. You can have it. I mean, the whole turkey.
Find another one. Have this chicken
wing. This chicken wing. Not even a turkey wing.
Not even a wing.
I'm still trying to tell how Borg feels about people eating bird.
Do a intelligence check.
Is it intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence is overall knowledge, and wisdom is how you would use that knowledge. So wisdom in this case. Well, you know that turkey was not a sentient turkey, and no one that you've ever known has ever looked like a chicken or a turkey, so you're somewhat safe in the knowledge of people eating bird.
Okay.
Is it like a little monkey compared to him? Like if the turkey were a monkey, then he would be a human.
Not really. The Kenku didn't necessarily evolve from any birds. Same thing with Aarakocra. It was just kind of like put
He just
there.
started there.
Yeah, because Kenku are individuals that were cursed by a entity to be incapable of having like an imagination or like they don't dream and they can only mimic. But Borb was born with the ability to do all those things and is like considered somewhat special within his family circles or like cultural circles.
I see.
So it's not too close of a parallel of eating turkey versus eating kenku.
Yeah, and plus, I'm kind of just used to eating whatever is available. So, birds are not technically off the menu.
Birds aren't off the menu for regular birds.
Yeah.
Dang.
Birds aren't off the menu for chickens in real life. They are cannibals and will eat each other and their eggs.
Without hesitation.
Can you blame them? They're delicious.
That's true.
They taste like dinosaur.
So as you finish your breakfast slash lunch, we'll call it brunch. Zethedramel talks to you a little bit more and says that your bedrooms have been left as you have left them. The crystal servants that populate this castle have cleaned a little bit, mainly to get rid of any dust and any other weird person stuff. Otherwise, your things are where they have been. You are more than welcome to go visit your rooms again if you so desire. Um, I will be spending most of today making more meals for your eventual return. Um, as you know, time does not work the same as it does out there. So when you leave and when you come back, It might not have been as much time as I expect. Of course, maybe that's just my memory doesn't work as well as it used to.
Or
Well,
is
thank you again
definitely
for.
gonna get up and start heading to his room with his nest that he likes to just floof up in, and he just will sit there and write in his journal.
Barbaros is gonna grab lemon square and go to his room.
Take more lemon squares with him.
I'm taking 3 squares.
Lemon bars are
Cassius will thank Jamal one more time for the meal and head to his room.
You bet. So there are hallways of bedrooms. There's one to the north and one to the south. There are 3 bedrooms in each. The only person that has a entire section to themselves is Cassius because of World Turtle needing a bit of water to live in. Please put your tokens where you would want your hallway of bedrooms to be.
Where would the underground reservoir thing be?
Towards the back to the... Yeah, there you go.
So maybe we need to be in the same section. Bro.
How big are our rooms?
They aren't too big. You each have a bed, a side table, and a bookcase that you can put things on. There are fake windows.
Fake windows?
Yeah, because this castle is all one piece, so there's no openings for to be able to see outside.
Mm-hmm.
So so Borb and
So the fake windows don't look out into the eternal night outside?
no, they go wherever you want them to look.
Hmm.
So you've had glimpses of home and stuff. Or you can choose some other potentially wacky places to look. And so who's going
My
to the...
room is an underground reservoir, right?
Yes, I will show you what it looks like in just a moment. I'll have to put everybody's token there so they can see what it looks like. But I'm just trying to figure out who is going to which hallway.
My bestie went back to the buffet instead of choosing something.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
He's trying to get more fish. He doesn't even know we're talking about him either.
Yeah, no.
Man.
Mr. Celestial, are you good?
Oh yeah, I'm here. What's up?
We've just been fake posting about you out loud for
Yes.
the last 2 minutes.
I apologize for my rudeness. I got text messages and I was reading them and I was not present in the moment.
It's okay. We're picking places to be, and you either have to the oh gosh, I don't know cardinal directions, to the west or to the south.
That's to the north of
And you've decided to go where the war turtle is, which is not a viable option currently.
War turtle.
That's it, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
World turtle.
World turtle. Although, she can get feisty.
As much as possible.
I can't speak. I've never been able to speak. Has
Don't
anyone
anger
here
tricks.
ever
You
heard me
don't
speak
want to anger
properly?
tricks. If you can somehow anger the kind old lady, you made a mistake.
All right, I will go. I take as many places I can carry. of food because I have big belly. And I guess I go south.
That's where I am. We can be besties down there.
All right. Ooh, right by the bird that I just saw.
my mouse is
Would you
being
like to bite it? No, I'm
goofy.
just kidding.
Give me a second.
No.
No. So I'm assuming then that we have Asim, Frackstone, and Barbaros in the north hallway.
Yes.
Okay. Quick second.
Do I get this hallway to myself?
No, you have your other companions are joining you. I just had to fix my mouse because it was being kind of goofy. There we go.
Come on, we should know where we live. We've been living here for 2 years.
It's not my fault.
Whoops.
It's kind of like driving while you just like, and your brain goes blank. You just sometimes forget where you sleep and you're just like, I know I'm doing this right. Where am I going?
Mm.
Mr. Avast, this is not where I need you to pop up at.
I'm still sad I can't play my flute on here.
I just can't hear it.
That's what Orb is going to be doing is he's going to be playing his flute in his room
Right, so this
and
is
just like practicing with Slinky.
so this is the south hallway. Please use your tokens for the 3 people that are sleeping down here, which is Borb, Izumi, and Loki. And we will designate those as your bedrooms.
Give me a second. I have to reload my Roll20.
All of the bedrooms are essentially almost exactly the same.
Loki can have the middle bedroom. I'll take the one all the way down the hall.
Okay. Oh, it's so delightful.
You have the chest at the bed, at like the back wall, at the towards the foot of the bed. You got like a rug and a bookshelf, and then of course 2 nightstands, both of which have little crystals on them that give light to the room, even though the castle around you produces light by itself.
That's a bookshelf? I thought you prepared fish for me.
Nope.
Oh.
No fish today.
Roll20 is only giving me a blank white grid. I'm suffering.
You really do be like that sometimes.
Is it really not giving you like any kind of like pictures or nothing?
I'll send a photo on Discord if you want me to.
That's kind of lame.
I'll show you what I got.
Well,
But I took it with my phone because I don't know how to do a screenshot on my desktop because I'm lame as fuck.
Are our rooms soundproof?
Yes, because there's an empty void between you and the other room. Weird. It's just taking a minute to load, I guess.
This is after I
reloading?
refreshed the page.
Oh.
And on the last room, it had started off in color and it was not the best, and then it decided to go all white. So I'm just suffering. Now it's that color.
Well, now it's about to change again.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that
But you know what? I'd rather have like the most deep fried color than than no color at all.
Alright, so this is the north hallway. Please place your tokens for whichever rooms that you claim for Barbaros and Nazim, and then whichever one isn't chosen, I'll slap Frackstone in.
Sounds good.
My computer went off for a second.
Ooh.
Yay, a room.
Good to have your own bed again. Oh, I did have my own bed, but it's nice still.
Azim is going to resist going onto the bed because he knows we will not leave it. So he'll sit on the floor and meditate.
I'm gonna go to the bed immediately. Can I open my window to someone's fireplace?
No.
Or my fire home?
Oh, you can make it look like you can make it similar to like your home.
Okay.
That's just weird.
Azim opens his to what looks like a fireplace.
Alright.
Sorry, what looks like a forest. Goddamn, you got me thinking of fireplaces.
We're gonna
He doesn't quite know what that looks like, but you know, he wants to see it anyway.
we're gonna roll a D4. If it's an odd number, then it's a pink forest. If it's a even number, it's an actual one. Congratulations, it is a pink forest.
Okay. He's going to be in for quite a shock when we eventually go to a forest.
Yeah. Your character's assumption now is that all forests are indeed pink and purple. Oh dang. I need to fix Mr. Cassius's bedroom because that is gigantic. Apparently, your bed is like 15 by 15.
Well, how else am I supposed to snuggle with tricks?
How big is everybody else's beds? That's like a 10 by 10. I guess that's fairly standard for a bed, especially like a king size like these ones.
Yeah, my pan flute doesn't pick up on my microphone, unfortunately, because my microphone doesn't recognize it as a voice.
Ah.
Do. There you go. Only $5.
$5. The cheapest musician I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me. This is the day you've almost paid.
He has given in to the temptation. He is now in bed.
Ah, yes. The great nap. And then there's
Herb is sing realistic dragon music on her pipe because Imagine Dragons wouldn't exist here.
Imaginary dragons.
I hear Realistic Dragons is a #1 spot in the music charts.
There's also My Alchemical Romance.
What if the imagined dragons were the friends we made along the way?
Oh lord.
Okay, now everything is normal person sized and not Ogun sized. This is the waterfront bedroom.
Oh, I want this bedroom. It's by the fish.
I think Trix is gonna. I'm gonna set. Cassia sets Trix down, and she slowly starts making her way.
But she's actually pretty speedy. Because she's able to make, go 20 feet in a second, or 6 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost 4 feet a second.
Yeah, and then as soon as she gets in the water, she starts boosting in the water.
I'll even put her big
And she's never come back since.
Just her little tail like a propeller.
Damn, I really be invisible. Is that on your guys' end? Do you see Azim?
I can see you. I'm invisible to myself.
Mm.
Weird?
Yeah, it just happened to me too.
Roll20's having quite the day today.
Apparently we're stressing the system out a little.
Too much pink and purple.
You say that.
Is there a window here too?
Yes.
I cannot get out of the water.
What?
Oh,
I think
no.
my window would be crashing waves.
I cannot get out of the water.
Oh, if you go in the water, you can't get out? I can't even get in the water. How'd you get in the water?
I went to my bed and then the scene changed. Imagine that. Imagine going to bed and then you're just like wet and submerged.
You
Just
shouldn't
like
I don't know what's stopping you from going out into the water.
There's no invisible wall.
No.
I think I'm drowning until the scene changes.
Congrats.
No, there's an invisible wall halfway through the map.
I will send you a picture of where the invisible walls are, and all of those are just so that you don't see the weird edges of the screen.
Yeah, I just can't get into the water.
Oh, I found my character. I scrolled way out and my token is down at the bottom of the screen.
Here you are. Oh, wait, I'm also at the bottom of the screen. What?
What
That's why I'm
nonsense just
invisible.
happened?
That might be why I can't move in the water.
Well,
there I am.
I'm gonna do a thing real quick.
Yeah.
Are you moving my corpse around?
No, I deleted you and then putting you back.
Azim be having an out-of-body experience for real.
He's having a very strange dream, if nothing else.
Never meditate before you nap, or this will happen.
Wake up in the middle of the ocean.
Why am I in a
I
giant
don't
reservoir?
think my neighbors appreciate me playing the pan flute at 9 p.m. Oh well.
Izumi is invisible. He's going to be invisible in the water. Looking for fish.
Weird, because like your tokens aren't anywhere like unique or whatever.
My token is in the darkness.
Weird.
Yeah.
My token doesn't have a face.
I'll try reloading.
My token is under the water.
When I try to move, like just to move the screen, my character moves.
Okay, reloading fixed it for me.
Alright, reload too.
Yeah.
Somehow my
I'm better now.
The land.
somehow my token is attached to the door.
I love how 50% of this has been
Roll 20 being wonk.
yeah, technical issues.
Man.
I'm reloading it.
Yeah, I get to drown now. Goodbye,
Yeah,
everyone.
in the deep water.
It's still technical issues. I got nothing but white.
So even though you reloaded it.
I've this entire time while you guys have been struggling with your tokens, my token's been fine. I've just been reloading the page and getting nothing.
How deep does the water get?
Hundreds of feet. It's big enough that a world turtle getting into like near adulthood can survive without.
How big is a world turtle?
A world turtle can well, to put it into words, they never stop growing. They have land that grows on their back, like on the shell of the turtle, that is fertile enough that you can grow plants on it. And a ancient world turtle can be about the size of like a small continent.
I see.
On.
So we're not actually in this room, are we?
You are not. No. The only person that
Okay.
is physically inside this room is Cassius.
Okay, I was about to say I was gonna try and sleight of hand something into his chest.
No.
That should be illegal.
If I'm putting something in there, it's not bad.
Oh, okay.
If you did go into Cassie's room, you would see that everything is perfectly like organized. Everything is like folded up. He seems to not want to be disorganized at all.
Yeah, see, so when you sleep, do you get like waves on your face? Do you get wet? Do you ever get splashed?
If Trix splashes me, yeah.
Is that how she wakes you up?
I am a deep sleeper. It happens from time to time.
It's either that or like crunching real loud on her leafy foods.
Please delete my token and put it back. I have learned nothing from the mistakes of others.
I saw. You are off the screen. I cannot delete your token.
What does this mean?
You will forever be there. What I can do is just like make another one.
On occasion, I have sleep swam.
Thank you. How did everyone else get back on screen?
We all just reloaded.
I reloaded twice and I still wasn't there.
Do you see
Don't worry
color
about
now?
I see nothing.
First, you throw your character off the screen, and now.
This is what we in the industry call a tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
What are your graphic settings like?
For
they
my
built?
computer, they're supposed to just be like medium. I don't try to make life hard for,
In Roll20, if you go to settings, there's like a
20.
graphics thing. I don't know if that matters.
There's a graphics.
No.
Because I
It just says maximum frames per second.
Yeah,
I don't think
30.
that's.
Yeah, I have it
and
at
then
30.
enable, and then you have the enable animated graphics on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. No idea.
Welcome to Technical Issues, the D&D game.
Yeah.
1% storytelling, 99% this.
So in each of your rooms, you found a homemade sweater. These are hand knitted in like with wool yarn of colors that match your night colors. So Cassius gets blue, Loki gets black and white, Izumi gets red, Fraxstone would get green, uh, Asim gets yellow, Borb gets pink, and Barbaros gets black.
Woo, black.
As dark as your soul.
And Toasty.
When you said your colors were black and red, I immediately my mind conjured up Shadow the Hedgehog.
Dang.
He has the greatest magic in the world, known as gun.
Shadow, it's me, the devil.
From the Bible.
I'm here to convince you to do sin, like stealing candy from a baby and also small businesses.
Mm-mm.
That is a sin, but stealing from large businesses.
That's morally correct.
Yes.
I, in no part, condone stealing.
I do condone stealing in character.
I mean, in character, sure, but outside of that, don't steal, that's bad.
Unless you're stealing from Jeff Bezos.
Don't steal unless it's for a good reason.
How
Mildly inconvenience Jeff Bezos is a good reason in my book.
What if we're just all playing in Jeff Bezos' D&D game of life?
The room loaded. Oh.
The moment I was about to change it back.
I mean, how about let's
I'm
not
admiring
steal
it now.
from
Give
Jeff
me a
Bezos?
second.
He's already making Twitch go insane.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. You have like 10 seconds to enjoy it.
Mm.
I appreciate these 10 seconds.
You're welcome. We're back in the main room. You have had a variable amount of time to enjoy the brief respite that you've had before things get goofy.
Oh no, it's about to get goofy.
My nap.
Gorge.
Gorge. You all have your.
Goofy in here.
I'm sorry, that just got me.
What in the hell? What? Yup.
You're about to get silenced. You all have your handmade sweaters. You know where you have to go. You know that you're meeting some guy who's known as a librarian. You know that he's in the Dragon's Maw Tavern in the ancestral Eyrie in Nehutorum. As you eventually head back into the main room, you see that Zethedramel is cleaning up the food that you left behind, muttering things about like leftovers and that he's running out of plates, and now he has to find someone else to ship them to give him fish because suddenly this one guy has an addiction.
Whole addiction.
One whole addiction. Got it at Sam's Club.
Does someone have lesser
Really?
restoration?
Yeah.
Let's fix this.
I'm gonna need to buy me a different kind of meat.
There's turkey. There's like ham and stuff.
The guy ate the turkey.
Yeah, but you had like other meats of varying kinds.
I only saw the turkey and the fish.
There's like
Have you ever had?
There's a steak and potatoes over there.
Ooh.
Beef potato.
Unfortunately, Azumi did not share the fish.
it didn't sound like too many people were interested in the fish, especially watching Kasai just like eat some of them whole.
He's a bird.
I'm sorry I made that noise.
I thought a fight was going to be broken out over the cinnamon buns. The first fight of the game.
Ah, yes. Started all off with PvP over some cinnamon rolls.
That's fair. I think we should go back like 20 minutes.
Just like, I don't want the cinnamon roll. I'm just talking about the turkey.
It's a misunderstanding that devolves into senseless murder.
D&D.
Like, yes.
Name your dice cinnamon, that way you can see how cinnamon rolls.
No, that was great.
There's mac and cheese as well.
And
Various.
also there's ratatouille, which I mean,
Where is
I'm
that?
down for some ratatouille.
Where is
I
that?
think that's shrimp.
It's over above the fish.
I think that's shrimp. Is it not?
No,
I
that's,
think
that's
that is
shrimp.
shrimp.
That is shrimp. On a close
Oh, it is?
inspection, it is shrimp.
Okay.
Personally, I went for that large ramen bowl
Ramen.
next to the steak.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's raviolis. I didn't see those.
And lemon bars, which Barbaros took most of. There's pies, toast.
There's a tiny waffle over on the bottom left of the top table.
Yes, a single waffle. There's also a sandwich. How did I miss
I love
that?
how
Someone said
us as
goodness.
people are more interested in the food than the
Right. Before
If
you
you all are ready, I would be keen to see if we could get going.
What preparations do you make before you go out on your first job?
I think Cassius would look his equipment over, make sure that it's he's taking good care of it, no rust or anything on it, because he is around. He was around salt water for that 1 week he was gone.
Azim is going to restring his bow.
Barbaros is gonna check with Vicky, see if she needs anything before we go.
She misses the fact that she was not able to enjoy any of the turkey. But she will happily take some shrimp to go.
I will get plenty of shrimp,
Yeah.
and I'll get another turkey as soon as possible.
It sounds like a solid plan. Do love me some turkey
Or
and
definitely tried to tune their pipes and just was like filing them down a little bit to make sure they're all even across. Because, I mean, that's what I've literally been doing for the past, like, 5 minutes.
shrimp. What is Loki gonna do?
Check to make sure that he's got his quiver full, and that his rapier is sharpen, just equipment check.
And Izumi?
Izumi is taking a nap because he ate all the food. Is that not an option?
Not at the moment, no. You are awake.
I am lost in translation.
You are doing final preparations for your first job before you leave.
Oh, that's right. I'm just sharpening my katanas and doing maneuvers.
Like a true anime protagonist.
Dang.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Alright, so as you step outside after completing your various final preparations, and as you step on the fancy to go button, which is the teleporter pad, you find yourselves brought to the great land of Nehutorum. Here is a wonderful look at our world map.
Oh, sure,
Oh.
that loads, no problem.
As you can
It
see,
was so blurry for 1 second.
well, I'm glad that it stopped being blurry.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that each nation is color coded. You have white being the technically biggest nation, mainly because they've got the land of the unicorns to the south, that nice little continent where all of the unicorns are kept so they don't murder people.
Oh,
I hate
what
that
did you
word.
send?
You have.
Where are we?
You are currently you teleported to Nehutorum, which is the nice green nation to the west of Tarvis Mela. Which is the nice mountainous nation of the lizardy Vikings.
Gotcha.
Your homeland is the big black area that says the
Okay.
Kingdom of Aclaria. That is also known as the Iron Mountain. It's also it's like a steppe, mountainous kind of area, not as mountainy as Nehutorum is, where their entire identity is about the Dragonspine Mountains. You instead have the Iron Mountain, which is a small chain, or like a small mountain range that makes up some of your country's identity. To the
What beautiful mountains they are.
I'm sorry?
What beautiful mountains they are.
They definitely are mountains. To the west of you is Ephraim, where Cassius comes from. To the east is, of course, the Dreadlands, where all the Beastmen come from. That is past the bulwark that keeps the Beastmen from actively raiding into the lands of Nehutorum and Aclaria. To the far west is the Lashtar, where Azumi comes from. A fairly tropical kind of place. Then you have Ioswen, which is where Borb comes from, far more tropical. And then, of course, to the south of Ioswen is Krujan, which is where Azim comes from.
Sand.
Sand. It's given the title known as the Tribulation of Kings. Congratulations. To the far west is the Fey Courts, where all of the mean Fey people are. Kept at bay by the Iron Palisade, which is of course the knee-high, 30 feet wide and several hundred feet deep cold iron wall. Which is a nice big middle finger to the Fey. And of course, to the very far north is the Ashlands, where the undead come from. You went from and then of course around the Packed Nations here is of course the Wilding Sea, which is where all of these sea folk come from. All of the mean mermaids and tritons with their nasty prehistoric crustaceans and stuff. They're not nice. You've gone from the very pink pocket dimension to the sudden brutal cold of the peak of the ancestral Eyrie. Hey, it's Fragstone.
Hey guys, just give me a quick heads up. Work ran a little late. I'm just getting out, so give me 15 minutes before I'm actually at my house, but just letting you know I'm on my way.
Okay.
Hooray.
But I'm just gonna mute my speaker, but I will be listening.
Okay. You find yourselves. I'm sorry?
Oh, do we want to give him a recap because he hasn't been here for an hour?
Recap for Mr. Frackstone. We arrived at the Crystal Castle, had a nice hello from everybody in the form of Azim vomiting. Several people toying around with the targets and stuff. And then we went inside, got to meet Zethedramel, who made everybody food. Izumi ate all the fish. Barbaros ate almost all of the lemon bars. There was almost a fist fight about the cinnamon rolls. Ate Izumi also ate all of the turkey. We discovered that there are foods there that I didn't realize I put in there. People designated what their bedrooms are. There's a hallway to the north and to the south. Your bedroom is in the north hallway with Asim and Barbaros. To the south is Izumi, Loki, and Borb. And then, of course, Cassius has his own bedroom because, giant creature that needs to be able to swim because turtle. Your first mission is to go to the Ancestral Eyrie during the Ancestral Festival to figure out why people are disappearing. You're going to be meeting with essentially a secret agent known as a librarian to figure out what's happening to everybody. Zethedramel made you a sweater, and we have teleported there and are currently looking at the world map before we get to the actual city on the side of a mountain.
We also had a shit ton of technical issues, so
Yes.
you don't miss that much.
That is true.
At least a good half of it was trying to figure out what's going on.
Well,
And
at least
then-
it's just the first session where the technical issues pop up.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
For all we know, Andy will never be able to see another map again.
Oh no.
I typically get to see them, but not very well.
Or not for very long.
That's true.
Because it's at the
You
exact
won't be able to
moment.
see a map in or out of D&D.
Yeah.
A
This
third
one
of the
loaded right
people here
away.
drowned.
The world map loaded right away, but honestly, the little one in Discord is a better quality than the one that's on Roll20 right now.
Was it still like grainy and like blurry and
Oh
stuff?
yeah. Oh yeah. You want me to send another picture in Discord?
I'm fine.
That's gonna become like the meme chat is just me sending pictures of my technical difficulties.
Well, before it can clear up and do other things, we'll switch over to the
Oh.
next map.
I love our token because it looks nothing like this group.
Nope.
We're not these.
I found a miscellaneous token of a bunch of knights doing knight things. Put a cool ring around it, And yeah, you can control what the token does. Every single one of you should have access to what it do.
And now sitting on the spike.
It's called an obelisk. I need you to get it right. Thanks.
That seems very inappropriate.
This is a family show. So you are now at the Ancestral Eyrie, which is the big city on the side of a mountain. It goes from the base of the mountain all the way up to the top, and then of course into the interior of the mountain. Um, the city, of course, has those like kind of Viking themes to it, where several of the houses and buildings are on like stilts. They're made out of stone and wood and thatch. They are designed to retain heat and to be very easy to replace because of the misadventures of things that happen on mountains.
And because fire-breathing lizards.
Yes. There are caverns that lead into the interior of the mountain at pretty much every level. From where you have arrived, which is this big building right there, that is the Grand Knight headquarters of Nehutorum, which is where people go to put in like little missions that they need you to fix. Some of them are get my cat out of a tree, except that their cat is like a chimera or something bigger. And the tree isn't necessarily not a live tree or not dead tree. It's most likely like a treant or some other nasty tree related thing. And then of course you have the less goofy ones like go take on this horde of undead in the mountains that have somehow evaded draconic predation. Since
They found a cave.
I'm sorry?
They found a cave.
Could be. There's about like as you arrive inside of the building, you notice that it is has a very homey feel. This doesn't look like your normal interior of a building. At least not one that you're used to. It's all wood. It's got some like stone siding, but otherwise there's wood everywhere that you can see. There's a big open fire behind you. To your right as you appear is the desk where a turtle is sitting, because they are, of course, reptiles and they live where all the reptiles live. He looks like he's trying desperately to finish this one page of his book, but there are people that are trying to talk to him. Most of them are trying to get information about how they could put up a quest, when's the next time you're going to arrive, that kind of stuff. There's only like a couple of people inside of the building. You see that there's like a ticket machine, but it's really just some like what is it? It's not shale. It's like those little like chalkboard kind of things. Something in slate.
Chalk and slate?
I think yeah, like chalk and slate. And it's just like the turtle would like write down their number and like hand it to him. But because he's a turtle, it might not go as quickly as people prefer. Trix can relate
At least
to this.
he's not a sloth.
You were thinking the same thing I was thinking.
This is the equivalent of the DMV.
Oh, I don't have anything to say. Can I go up to the turtle?
Sure, he's standing behind the counter that he is currently working behind, and it takes him a good solid like 10 seconds for his head to turn and look at you.
Hello. I heard there are quests in the area.
There are.
Guys, we have a quest.
Yes.
Never take on too many quests.
I'm sorry. I forgot.
average Skyrim player taking on the side quests first.
The turtle.
Taking on all the side quests.
The turtle blinks rather slowly and says, "There are a lot of quests available, Mr. Knight. Are you looking at any particular?"
What kind do you have? What would you suggest?
Well, he takes out a sheaf of paper and plops it onto the table. This sheaf of paper is about a foot tall and seems to have been added to fairly recently. He slowly rotates it around to where it is facing you, and you see that this stack of paper is separated by little ribbons that have written on each ribbon the different kind of quests they are. They've been broken down into combat, search, exploration, and social.
I'm gonna take one of each. One of each.
Okay. For the combat ones, they're all fairly standard. It's either take on a bandit, like a bandit group, take on some other nefarious group of people, hunt down some undead, or figure out how beastmen got into this part of the country. The search ones are go find this person. They disappeared from this area. Here's your contact. If you can find them, here's a gold, like a gold reward. The exploration are we found this cool place. I want you to go and take a look at this cool place and tell me if it's cool or not. And then the social one is go to convince some person or something to stop doing the thing that they're doing.
Okay, I'm just gonna take cool place, combat, and social.
Okay. I'll tell you what those are once we get to that point.
Okay.
You now have 3 miscellaneous quests to do after you're done figuring out what's going on here.
Yay.
Despite your arrival, people don't really necessarily recognize you. You're still fairly new to everyone, and then again, you disappeared for 2 years. They knew why you disappeared. It's just now you're no longer in like the public eye as much as you were before. There are like a couple of people that are like, "Oh, hey, Grand Knight," and they like give you a salute, a hello. Maybe like one of their kids comes up and hands you some kind of like beat up flower because this place isn't known for growing things. They have to get it imported from other places.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know how long this kid's been holding on to that. So it's sweet. It's just might be dead for a while.
Oh, that's wholesome.
In the outside of the Grand Knight headquarters, you are greeted with a market. This market is bustling. It looks like it's about midday. Each of these market stalls are selling a miscellaneous amount of things. You have like food, clothing. Um, some sell like a variety of weapons, um, and like snack foods. This is your general market.
Okay.
To your left, as you go outside, there's of course the entrance into the inner mountain. Otherwise, to your north is more buildings. Some of them houses. Um, most of them are businesses. There's the ramp that leads up to the next level, and you pretty much see this repeated on each level.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else looking for anything? Because I'm gonna go look for turkey meat. for Vicky.
Turkey meat, turkey meat, turkey meat, turkey meat.
Izumi's gonna look for fish.
You are in the worst place to look for fish. This is like
Dumpster.
They
Wow.
don't have mountain fish.
there's no such thing as bad fish.
Are you serious on that one?
Just gives you like this biggest like the fuck kind of look.
I'm not like I meant you.
Trout.
There's no mountain fish. What about freshwater fish and lakes?
I said there's no mountain fish.
Okay.
That's as in like fish that come from mountains. Those are otherwise known as like worms or in the spirit of Dune Shai Halud or graboids.
The lore is if you live in the mountains, there is no fish.
You'd have to come
Okay.
down from the mountains to get your fish.
Okay. There are no lakes in the mountains, no rivers in the mountains for fish. Or that contain fish.
Don't you know fish
Actually,
and mountains?
to the north of you is where a river cuts through the mountain. So there might be some fish.
Okay.
Don't you know fish and mountains are enemies?
Crypt and I live in a mountainous place and I go fishing. So
Never.
I was like, bro.
Physically impossible.
Nope.
Physically impossible.
I'm sorry that fish just don't happen here. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking.
I think we should all take psychological damage for this conversation.
Does Izumi take vicious mockery?
He might take like a...
Borb's not feeling well. That would just be up to you.
If you think that you need to get off, then I will not stop you.
Okay, I'm sorry about this.
We'll see you next week.
I will see you next week.
See you
Feel
next
better.
week. Later.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Izumi might take some couple of points of depression damage due to the fact that fish almost didn't exist for about 10 seconds there.
Depression.
Yeah.
Depression damage.
I'd be dead by now.
There's no resistance to it either.
Nope. Everyone is weak to it.
Well, if there's no fish, I just eat bird.
No.
Birds happen. They're a thing that happen in mountains.
It's good to know that birds are canonical.
Yes, but not fish.
Fish are barely canonical just by the laws of nature.
Yes.
You have magic, turn bird into fish.
No, I don't.
Well, not Chris. Someone here that does magic.
I love how we all didn't pay attention to the introductions.
Well, it's difficult to put the names to the magic.
Borb is a bard, so they do have magic, as well as Cassius, who's a cleric, so he has magic too.
And
I have magic, but it's ranger magic, so
That's lame magic.
I'm not gonna help you.
Even I'm not capable of transforming Borb into fish, though.
You can make good
I
berries.
have one level in cleric.
And a life domain.
I think Cassius is actually going to wander off from the market and find somebody to ask about the happenings here.
Okay. They're not necessarily very trusting at the moment. Do a persuasion check.
Okay. I can't show them off Trix, who is also a reptile.
Just like turn around, you got like a little turtle on your back. I'll give you advantage because of how adorable that is.
Okay, I'll lead it because that's horrible. I'm not the most charismatic guy.
You're just like, hey, look at this turtle on my back. And they're just like, oh, that's adorable.
Exactly.
They say that several people in the last couple of weeks have gone missing. They've found several of them, but most they have not. Some of it has happened like broad daylight kind of things. Sometimes, most of the time, it's while that person is asleep inside their home. They found that the door, like when authorities would come or their their family members would arrive, they would find the door either broken or like lockpicked. The someone has either like forced their way in or finagled their way in.
And they wouldn't happen to know if these kidnappings happen near tunnels, would they?
Um, it's happened all over the Erie, so it's not necessarily within just the interior of the mountain or the exterior. Every person seems to be different. Is there any other question you wanted to ask?
Well, there seems to be no like noticeable pattern for them to be kidnapped. I was gonna ask, although they probably wouldn't know like exact details as to what these people were doing beforehand. So
They all seem to have like different kinds of professions.
Mhm.
The one thing that was noticed was that the majority of those that were taken were of a rather what's the word? They were in peak physical condition.
Interesting. Is there some home of somebody that's recently happened to? You may point me in the direction of.
The person kind of like taps their chin and says, "Well, you'd probably want to talk to one of the local guardsmen. Um, they might have a little bit more information. I don't know anyone in particular that got um, like where they're living and stuff, so I wouldn't necessarily be able to give you a good estimate or a good like area to visit."
Okay. Well, thank you for the information you did give me.
You're welcome. And like gives Trix like a good pat on the head and like a leaf.
Nom, nom. Or crunch, crunch, crunch. Cassius will return to the others to tell them about the peak physical condition fact.
Interesting.
I'm thinking we could lay a trap with that information.
Well, we probably ought to talk to our contact first and see what they have to say before we start planning a trap.
Maybe he would appreciate initiative.
Maybe.
Barbaros, I want you to do a perception check for that turkey. Same thing
Sure.
for Izumi.
I mean, they do have bird.
Is it poisoned?
No, it's a perception check to see if you can find a stall that sells an entire turkey.
I got 8.
You're able to find a place that sells them like piecemeal, so you can buy like turkey legs, turkey wings, breasts, that kind of thing, but not a full. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you.
Not a full one-piece turkey.
Okay, I'll just like buy like 2 turkey breasts.
That'll be 3 silver pieces.
Okay. How do I do that?
How much?
What do you,
How much money do you have?
I have no idea.
He said folk hero, right?
Yes.
I think you start off with 10 gold.
Yeah, that's accurate to the folk hero background.
Yeah. So you have 10 gold. It is 10 silver pieces to a gold piece. So if you give the guy a gold piece, which to him is going to be like ridiculous in terms of money that you just handed him, he'll give you back the 7 silver. So you'll have 9 gold and 7 silver.
Okay, I'll give him a gold piece and tell him to keep the change.
Ooh, you just like made this guy happy beyond all reasoning.
Yay.
He thanks you profusely.
Okay. I don't know what to do in this situation.
For what?
I'll he's just very thankful, and
Well,
it's all good.
the peasantry will rarely ever actually see a gold piece. Silver is probably the most that they'll ever see. They'll have the equivalent of gold, but never an actual gold piece. So you just handed him a crisp $100 bill and told him to hold on to $70 of it. That will pay his
Yeah.
rent for a good couple of months, assuming he's not a homeowner. So you made the majority of his year, and by
Great.
happenstance made Starsinger very proud of you.
Great.
Starsinger turns and looks at Loki and says, "See, he's taken your like, initiative, giving money to those who need it. It's some good stuff, bro."
Of course. I love
Okay.
it.
Okay, guys, I'm finally back on. Sorry.
Hooray.
We had something called Cruising Maine going on, which is a freaking car show where they're just driving down Main Street.
Fun
Take
times.
me 10 minutes to cross the damn street.
That sucks.
That's super lame, bro.
Good.
So once Mr. Frackstone logs into Roll20 here, we can continue.
What?
We have another 2 hours left. We're halfway through.
Yeah, we just started.
Caffeine is your friend.
Frackstone, what are you playing?
I am a sorcerer.
Oh.
Ooh, turn bird into fish.
Doesn't work like that.
Be very, very hungry. They have no fish here.
You gotta do your perception check to see if you can find any fish.
Oh, sweet.
That's how Barbaros was able to get
And why do I have
turkey.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently, you have guidance.
It's only 12. I keep track of
You're able to find. You weren't able to find whole fish. You were able to find fish cut into like fillets and already been like boned and stuff.
I'll share with Kasai.
Right, that'll cost you 3 silver as well.
Oh, not free?
No.
Oh, must pay.
Yeah.
All right. I give 3 silver. And that gives me 7. Oh, that's 11 silver.
Azima's kind of looking at you guys like, we just ate.
Look at the size of me and size of you.
I'd like to split up the turkey breast into rations for Vicky.
Okay, you can have like a bag or something similar, or like a some wax paper to turn it into like a little bundle and put it in your backpack.
I have a pocket.
I mean, you should have a backpack as a folk hero or as a
Right.
barbarian or whatever. Yeah, you get a explorer's pack, so you'll have more
Yeah.
than enough space in there to just slap in the turkey rations. All right, since you have joined us, Mr. Frackstone, if you would like to introduce your character, describe what he looks like, what he wears, what his nightly weapon is, his bonded companion, and like the name of it and what it is.
Okay. Frackstone is a what was it? I gotta remember. Is a bronze dragonborn sorcerer who's also draconic bloodline, also bronze. Um, he's generally wearing a green tunic with brown or homespun undyed trousers. Um, his bonded weapon is his quarterstaff, which he also uses in his fighting style with his magic, called the most magical of snoot boops,
I don't know how
which
you got
allows
that.
him to channel his up to first level spells through his quarterstaff into a physical strike, giving the spell effect on the actual strike. He stands 6'3", lean build, but still rather bulky, as you know, Dragonborn. Athletic. He's not out of shape in any way, shape or form, even though he's a magic user. And his bonded partner is Gersemi, who is a golden dragon. And when she is in her infant form, she rides between his horns.
All
Did I
right.
miss anything?
Nope, that about covers it.
Okay.
We are currently in what might not be your hometown, but somewhere fairly close. We're in the ancestral Erie, going to visit the Dragon Maw Tavern to talk to a librarian errant, who are like the Secret Service kind of guys that keep your family safe, to figure out about the disappearances of the people of Nehutorum.
I couldn't watch it past the 4th season.
What?
The Librarians.
Oh, this is completely different.
Really?
Yes. Phrased as a
Like,
question. We have. I'm sorry.
No. Go on.
Okay, we have found miscellaneous turkey and fish. Um, Cassius has learned that the people that have gone missing have been in peak physical condition. we were about to go on to finding the Dragon Maw Tavern. So we can get this show on the road. Let's have everybody do some perception checks to see if you can find it. Though I will allow Frackstone to do it at advantage just because this is kind of home territory.
So I got a 15.
Oh, Andy's not paying attention at all.
I'm so small I can't see shit. Besides Cassius. Oh,
Yeah,
no, never mind.
I see a little bit better than you.
Had been.
And that's just because I'm tall.
Yeah, just a bit.
People
And
are
Barbaros
disrespecting
is
my food.
and Barbaros is not doing that good either.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is all up to Frackstone to lead the way. It's been a bit since you came to visit, but the last time that you remember any kind of tavern being named that way is on the second level, so it took you about a good 10-15 minutes to meander your way up the road, come around this corner here, and find yourselves at the Dragon Maw Tavern. It is a longhouse kind of look. It is boat shaped. In the interior of it, you see that there are rows of tables and bench seats situated around an open fire in the middle. That is where they cook the food. Off to the sides, you see that there is a bar to some degree where drinks are laid out. Very kind of modern look to it, except that what they have on tap is mead or the pig swill, they call it, known as wine. Which is funny because mead is just honey wine. They are snobbish against.
No, it's fermented honey. It's fermented honey.
That's what I said. It's honey wine.
Yeah, but it's not generally a grape. Or wines are always grapes.
Yeah, it's
There's
the term that's given to it is honey wine, even though it's not made from grapes.
there's like also just general fruit wine.
True.
Like you can get cherry Manischewitz wine. And it's just cherry, no grape.
True.
I don't know this much. I don't know anything about alcohol.
That's fine. As you step inside, a lot of the eyes of the people situated inside the tavern turn to look at you, and then immediately turn back. This is a very warm atmosphere, mainly because the fire in the middle is gigantic and is being kept over by a dragon that is sitting above you in reinforced rafters that every so often just coughs a bunch of fire on it, gets it going again, and goes back to snoozing.
They just old dragon in here?
Yeah, it's a pretty big place.
Honestly, that fucks. That's so cool.
You see that there are a handful.
Dragons help with everything.
It's part of their culture, at least. You have a kobold maintaining the cooking pot situated over the fire. You have another turtle handling all of the bar stuff, but he seems to be moving a bit quicker than the guy that you saw before. Otherwise, everybody in here is a mishmash of Dragonborn, Lizardman, Kobold, Turtle, and a slew of other races, mainly here for the festival that is happening towards the top of the Erie in the interior of the mountain. You see that there are dozens of individuals scattered around on the different tables. You don't necessarily know what you're looking for. How do you proceed?
I'd go to the turtle.
Okay, he's sitting there, his big meaty hand trying to clean glasses so that the kobold next to him can fill them with mead. Just kind of looks at you with his grizzled, older turtle face and says, "What you want?"
I'll be right back.
Okay.
You said that, and I just want to say, because baby, I want it. That felt inappropriate.
We were supposed to meet someone here?
Good for you. What do you want me to do about it?
We didn't get a name or anything, did we?
Nope.
Can I look around and see if I can see anybody who feels like they like books? Who gives me book vibes?
Do an insight check.
Let's see here. Insight. Good at those.
Gives me book vibes. There is, towards the far corner of the room, an individual seated at a table that is has enough chairs around it for up to 8 people, and he's just kind of vibing.
I'll whisper over to the others. I think he's our guy. He's giving me major book vibes.
Okay.
And Cassius will walk over.
He doesn't even wait for a response. He's just like, "That's our guy."
That's my guy.
Just trots over.
Hello there. I think we're here to meet you.
The individual looks up, and it looks like he is a human. He's wearing like a hooded black leather outfit. He's got like bracers on his wrists, a cloak around his shoulders that looks like it's like fur lined. He's got like a kind of gray, like a salt and pepper beard. It's cut fairly short. One of his eyes has a big scar across it that has lost all of the pigment in it, and the other one is like a bright blue.
Oh yeah, definitely a Squirrel guy.
As you come over, he just kind of has like a big smirk that crosses his face and gestures to one of the seats, but he doesn't say anything yet.
I'll go ahead and sit down across him.
Do you take tricks off of your back first?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to squish her against the chair.
She's like, I don't want to eat
put, and then not in order not to be rude, I'll put her on my lap instead of the table.
Okay. I was like, you ain't getting like a booster seat.
No, that's what Loki gets. Or he just stands on the chair.
They're both valid options.
There are booster seats.
If I get too tired of standing on a chair, I just sit down and I flop my ears under the table.
What,
And if he doesn't say anything, I'm just gonna have like a staring contest with him.
But he waits until everybody else takes a seat.
Well, then I'll hop on over.
Okay. A kobold comes over as soon as you get to your chair. It's like, excuse me, Sonny, but do you need a booster seat? It's just like turns and looks at the very tall laying in. Is like, does your son need a booster seat?
I'm an adult, but I
What?
don't think I'd mind it.
It's like cool. He just trots back over to the bar and he's like, "Hey, the bunny child needs a booster seat."
I'm a grown-ass man.
The turtle just like frisbees one over to him, and he comes back and says, "Here you go, kid." Puts it right on the chair and then leaves.
Does Loki have like a deep voice to go along with that too?
Oh, the kobold?
No, Loki.
Oh.
Like, do they sound like an adult?
I think he's just kind of mid-tone. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay. So as everybody takes a seat,
Yes.
the man that you came to visit keeps that smirk on his face. He's like, "Yeah, I'd be the one you'd want to talk to, lad. How did you pick me up out of the crowd?"
Well, you're just giving me major book vibes, you know? You seem like a guy who likes books.
It's like, that's just my job title. I don't actually do any librarian things, but I appreciate the sentiment, though I'll have to work on being less bookish.
You were a little bit more conspicuous than everyone else. The number of chairs kind of gave it away.
I mean, I have to find a good place for, 7 individuals to sit.
So you're telling me that as a librarian, you actually have nothing to do with books?
I'm a knight to a certain degree.
Huh. That seems counterintuitive to name yourselves the librarians. Huh?
Well, it's a secret name. Like, we can't just run around saying we're the Secret Service that protects Grand Knights' families. Whenever people go after them, it's a very long business name.
You need an acronym.
Well, you come up with a good one, and we'll probably at least look at it before we throw it away. It's like, back on task here. He takes out a small bundle of paper and he passes it over the table to you. And on each one is a written account of the different people that went missing. And what you start to notice on the top, based off of like the first 5 pages, there's about 10 or 15 that each one seems to have done some kind of physical activity leading up to them disappearing. He says,
like working out, or?
Well, they wouldn't necessarily have working out as something that would be put on their I'm dead and or missing resume. They've just taken on jobs that require some kind of physical fitness. Like a couple of them were athletes that were going to participate in the festival. Several of them had jobs that were incredibly physically demanding, like guardsmen, soldiers to some degree. Ironically enough, those who feed dragons and or wyverns. Mainly because if they are irate, you have to run. If you run real good, you make it out. If you don't run real good, then they're sending money to your family.
If you don't run real good, your position needs to be filled again.
Yes, suddenly there's a strange vacancy in the funeral planned with just ashes. Weird.
When is the festival?
It's the figure just kind of gestures around him, is like, it's going on now. It started earlier today.
Does it end at the end of the day, or is it a week or a month long?
Lasts for a week.
Okay.
It's got all sorts of fun things, like games that kids can play. You get a ride on a dragon or a wyvern. You get homemade food, different contests. All of the cool Dragon Knight guys get to flaunt their ancestry around and push people around for it. It's a great old time if you've got a dragon under your belt.
For it, they do it anyway.
He just kind of like turns and looks at you. It's like, you know. As he looks at the tiny gold dragon sitting on the top of your head, who's been staring at him with his like big, broad, huge eyes.
Her.
Oh, her. Gersemi, I came up with a personality for her. She is intellectual, born missing a finger on one of her hands, and speaks with a lisp.
But she's cute in mine.
Yes.
Most important descriptors.
As I
She's
am her.
adorable.
Okay. Checking the lists. Is there any indication that any of them plan to participate in the events? In any of the events?
A good half of them were going to be part of the events.
But not all of them.
Is there a specific event that they were going to be part of, or just
any of like the physically demanding ones?
So this is a bit of a stretch, but my initial thinking is that all of these people are physically capable. It could be that they're trying to weaken defenses. Because some of these people have been guards as well, right?
Yes.
Can I roll an insight?
Sure.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I rolled a nat 20 there.
You done incited good. What were you trying to incite?
Just to see if there's anything in common, anything other than the physical ability of the things of all the missing in common, or if there's a pattern to it other than just that they were all physically strong, or in some way.
Having looked through it, they are all picked from different areas. You could consider that a pattern because none of them are even from the same districts as each other. You know that the Erie is a huge city. It's built literally inside of and outside of the entire mountain that the Erie is based around or based on.
Do something where with the space that all that iron came from.
Ironically enough, none of the iron came from the Dragonspine Mountains.
I know, but it was funny.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think. Other than all of them being physically fit and having some kind of relation to the festival's games, you're not able to determine too much of like a pattern or a insurmountable reason. You do get the feeling that if it's not getting rid of them to like weaken defenses, then it might be, if this is especially like a necromancer cult, potentially turning them into some nasty kind of undead thing.
Turning them into troops.
Potentially.
Would you be aware of any places they could? Well, we were told you might know where they've been taking them.
Well, the guy just kind of like leans forward, conspiratorially, scooches a little bit closer when he sees Loki sitting on a booster seat. Says there are around the northern bend of the Spine Mountains, there are a series of caves. None of these caves are like connected to one another, but they are close enough to one another that I would assume that they have something to do with one another. Any of the groups that I have followed have brought me to these caves. And by groups, I mean a couple of days ago, I started noticing cloaked figures wandering around the streets. Um, Most people don't look at them twice because it's cold outside. Most foreigners can't handle the cold. And he like points out all of the dragonborn and lizardmen and stuff around, and most of them are just wearing like your classic like t-shirt and jeans. Like if they could, they'd be wearing like cargo shorts and flip flops. And in this case, they're just like tunics, pants, and some of them don't even have shoes on. This is like summer weather to them. Frackstone is barely even affected by it.
I feel a little called out by that one, I'm going to be honest. Because, honestly, I'm in shorts and flip-flops right now.
That's great.
And remember, Rockstone doesn't wear shoes either.
See? It's a normal thing.
So, they're not connected as far as we know. But depending on how long they've been there, they could be connected now.
Potentially. I've not gone inside of the caves. I've only scouted their exteriors because I didn't want to get caught up in something I couldn't escape.
Can't give information if you're not here to give it.
Uh-huh. Dang. Zoomy poppin'.
Have you seen anyone being abducted?
No, they tend to happen, strangely enough, when I'm not looking. Either they are aware of me watching, or they have something that prevents me or anyone else from noticing it until after it happens.
I see.
At the mention of that, can I try to non-conspicuously look around to see if anybody's looking at us?
Do a stealth check.
Okay. Ooh.
This isn't like, trying to be stealthy, but you did roll the 11
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You take a surreptitious look around, and as far as you can tell, no one is directly watching you. There's a couple of like the passing kobolds as they're like handing out like food and stuff, give you like weird looks as you like slowly turn around and look over your shoulder. That's just like what's this idiot doing? But otherwise, no one seems to be paying attention or trying to listen in on your conversation. Most people are actually fairly distant from you.
Well, as I had proposed earlier, we could maybe lay a trap for these people. Some of us are very healthy, and we could say we're going to participate in the games as well. That might make us targets.
That could work. If one of us gets abducted, we would definitely know where it is.
In all the ones that have been abducted, have any of them been visitors?
Ironically enough, none of them have. All been locals.
Frackstone might not be a bad way to go then. You are local.
And he is physically fit, Mr. Athletic.
Frackstone, you shall be our bait.
The librarian continues to rub his chin as he looks at you with like his smirk across his face and says, I've got a means of getting your name into the festivities. I'll be able to convince some of the leadership to make it more of a ceremonial thing than an active participation, but your name being on the list should draw them in, especially since most of the list now is foreigners. So unless they, know who you are, it's a good chance that we could set a trap for them. Problem is that due to the amount of caverns that are lurking around the northern like the where the mountain range goes into Ephraim, there's a good amount of them that we would have to let you get captured and follow them.
There are 6 of us left if Fraxton is the one who is being captured. We could cover at least 6 of these entrances. Although I don't believe we have any ways of communicating with each other if the perpetrators goes towards our cavern.
The librarian reaches into his pockets and brings out 4 sending stones. He takes one out of his pocket and says, "All of these sending stones send to my stone." And of course, you can all talk to one another. So whatever's said in one, all of them hear. So if you maybe split up into like groups of 2 or so, you might be able to cover enough ground and be ready for whenever your friend shows up to one of these caverns.
Hmm. Well, what do the rest of you think?
Quick out of character question. Would Fraxton still be able to use his cantrips without his focus? Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to let him keep it.
Yes.
Okay. I was just the cantrips, not anything higher than that. Just the easy use magic. So I'm just verifying that so for if you know.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at your spells. The only one you wouldn't be able to use is Green Flame Blade and Mending, just because they have material components.
Okay.
But Gust, Firebolt, and Shocking Grasp and Control Flames are things that you'd be able to do.
Control flames. Oh shoot! Didn't want to spell that. Cast that.
Would our companions be able to help us, or would that be against the rules or not?
Yeah, they can. Like, they're always with you, so they'll be able to help you keep like an eye out on things, and you can always talk to them. You have a telepathic bond to one another.
Well, I must say that me and Lucy
Someone would have to watch Gersemi for me.
I think that can be arranged.
And one of you would have to hold my quarterstaff.
I can hold it.
What's the problem? No one minds babysitting the dragon.
but they don't want to hold a big stick.
No one wants to be responsible for your stick.
I'll hold your stick.
The sticks are too much of a hassle.
They just stick into everything.
This entire party's nothing but sticks.
Oh, such a stick burn.
Never play pick up sticks.
I think it's a great plan.
Of course you do. You're not the one being used as bait. For once.
It's so generous of you.
Yeah. Starsinger nods his head. It's a very heroic thing to do, brah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, we will be watching out for you.
Okay, let's get this done.
So the librarian walks you through the process and like essentially has you sign up to join one of the festivities. He puts your name up there. It takes about a day to fully take care of. Um, by the end of the next day, your name is up on the board. Some people recognize it, some people don't. Um, you are given a house that the librarians use to like monitor one of the different like the one of the previous Grand Knights families. It's supposed to be put up for sale soon, but then it just hasn't. So you get to stay in that house.
Yay!
Are there books in there?
It's a fairly empty house.
Okay.
Just session with books.
He's stuck on the librarian thing.
Cassius is gonna catch him. This guy's lying to him. He's into books. He knows it.
I can see it in your eyes. You like to read. I'm sorry, I'm too cool to read. I can see it. You've got fingers that are used to bend down corners to, mark your place. I could just smell the old pages off of you. You smell like a library.
Yeah, let's be honest. People here would probably either burn the book or, start fights over people bending pages.
Like here in your home country or like here in this group?
Yes. Vikings, unless you're starting for something very specific, not a lot of reading going on.
I guess that's
Unless
fair.
you're a woman. Unless you're a woman.
They have more time to read. When they're not going out murdering things. So, the other members of the group were given essentially a day to come up with their trap. You can have Gersemi essentially follow along where Frackstone goes because of their telepathic connection. You can try to set up some kind of like auditory thing to figure out when he gets captured so that you can follow the guy, or you could come up with something on your own. I will let you brainstorm it.
Let me check out my spell list, see if I can do anything.
I'm going to mute my mic for a second. I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
So don't say anything bad about me, Loki.
Where?
Hi.
Oh,
Okay, he's gone.
Okay, he's gone. Let's talk about how generous he is. How kind and thoughtful.
Yeah, so I could like guidance, but it only lasts for like a round. For 1 minute, so it's not the best.
That's 10 rounds.
That's true. Or I could do
Okay.
Shield of Faith, but I think the point is to have him be kidnapped, not to fight back the attackers.
Yeah. I have to figure out a way to follow along with them.
Are any of you stealthy?
I'm a lot of stealth.
Loki has a passive stealth.
I do have a passive stealth, yeah. And I think I also have proficiency in it, so my stealth's an 8.
Nice.
Means your passive stealth is 18.
That's what I get for being small.
You're simply below notice.
That might be the good way to go then. Loki could trail behind Crackstone as he's being kidnapped, and then the rest of us will stand watch at caves.
I could literally just stand in the room and briefly watch him from the front of his as he gets kidnapped and then just dash out behind him.
Are we gonna go in or not?
Sorry?
Are we gonna go in pairs and watch the caves, or just not?
I think we can do that. If Loki is the one following, one person will be watching by themselves, unless we have one group of 2 and one group of 3. Probably best not to have a person on their own.
Yeah, that would not be good for them.
Which is one of the reasons why Fraxstone was a little hesitant to do this job, because he would be alone.
Yeah, but with my stealth, you wouldn't be that alone.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't
but
tell
you
the-
hadn't mentioned the fact that you were going to be close and following right alongside.
I think if I follow right alongside, then it's you and me.
So we have Cassius, Izumi, and Carlos. Oh, sorry, what was your character name again?
Barbaros.
Barbaros.
I'll change the thing on this thing.
No worries. I'm just still learning everything. Everyone's names. So since we only have 3 people, then we can split up. Since Loki will be following.
Well,
And I
3.
could probably
be aware that your
leave-
other group members are going to be with you too.
Okay. All right. Then let's split up. One group of 2 and one group of 3, and divide up our healing between those groups. Is that what I would suggest?
Yeah, and I can do like a little bit of healing in case Fraxstone gets roughed up. I don't know if it's that good. I haven't looked at it really well, but because of Star Singer being a unicorn, I can do a little bit. And also we might be able to find like some stones or something that like glow or give off a light that I can drop like a trail for you guys to follow.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be good.
Well, they'd also have Gersemi, who can follow Fraxstone just because of their telepathic bond.
That's true.
Would that be dependent on me being awake?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure.
You know where each other are regardless of your wakefulness.
Would Gersemi be able to know like it like there's all those caves that are right next to each other? He'd know exactly which cave. I'm so sorry.
Not necessarily. She'd have to have been able to see Fraxstone get pulled into it. That's where you kind of come in. You'd be able to figure out which cave it is, and Gersemi can lead the group to that area, utilizing their bond.
Then I could probably leave like a stone or something specific that like something specific that's not too out of place, but like we know what it's meant for, you know, at the entrance to whichever one Fraxstone gets taken to.
Let me see if I have anything in my bag that could be helpful.
You can leave like, if you have like a ration, you can leave that out.
Do any of you have chalk? We could maybe Loki could mark areas with chalk, with some chalk symbol or something. I just don't know how easy it'll be to get like colored or glowing stones.
Well, we're right next to like a market.
I'm
just trying to think of something that like
I have turkey rations.
I'm I'm trying to think of something that's not likely to get picked up by an animal and is kind of inconspicuous enough that at first glance it's not gonna like tip you off that it's not supposed to be there. So like leaving, you know, something physical behind. We could probably buy chalk and I could use that.
Yeah, it's
What about burn marks from Kasai?
I don't know if it would throw off my stealth to have Kasai come with me. Also, fire hot.
Also, you have a unicorn
Or
walking
Yosemite could
along
make
with
little
you.
burn marks.
Yeah, I got a unicorn that's gonna be trailing behind.
It's gonna be trying to be sneaky. Sneak it. Sneak it. Sneak it.
Sneaky horse.
Well, maybe Starsinger could stay back a little bit. Let me look at what Starsinger's stealth is.
Put some cloth on Starsinger's hooves.
You could like crawl, or you could fly.
Oh yeah.
He could fly. Actually, I forgot about that.
He has wings.
He'll just fly above. Well, if he's flying above, well,
Pretend he's a dragon.
Yeah.
Just rawr, bro.
Well,
I
those
can
two
have
could fly
Vicky go
above,
with
and
you.
those two could fly above and keep track of us. And with the two of them, it's unlikely that they not figure out what cave we went into. But just in case, we still ought to like have a system. I've got a dagger. I could put like an X in the wall of one, but that's kind of loud.
It'd be like a copper piece to buy some chalk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy some chalk.
Oh, I thought we were way out of the way.
Nah, it's still you're still in like the planning phase.
Okay.
I have not been taken yet.
I've yet to be truly kidnapped.
So what are the teams we need? Because if we're breaking up into two teams.
Who here can heal then?
Loki said he can heal.
A little bit,
Just
yeah.
a bit.
Thank you.
Barbaros can heal because he's a cleric, and Cassius can heal because he's also a cleric.
So Barbaros should be on one of the teams, and then I'll be on the other team then, just so that we can spread out our healing a little bit.
We have 3 healers.
What,
one of them's not particularly good.
One is a BB healer.
Sorcerers are not healers. Sorcerers do damage.
They're not talking about you, bruv.
I know. I'm just saying.
You can heal the opposite way. You can heal them so hard.
Fix things.
If the others are with us, then Barb would also be good to have on the opposite team from me, probably.
He is a College of Whispers bard.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay.
So yeah, me and Barbaros probably on separate teams since to just spread out that healing a little bit. Loki will be separate from the rest of us, so to help out Crackstone in the case.
Well, you can have
he's
two.
Hurt.
You can either have 2 teams of 3 or 3 teams of 2. Because it'll be 6 of you.
Okay, yeah, let's do 3 teams of 2.
I'm somewhat healthy.
I thought Loki was following me.
Yes, me and you should probably be on separate teams because we're healing.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with. Who should I go with?
I will go with whoever you're not going with.
I mean, my character could go with Loki.
Well, I'm staying with Frackstone.
Oh.
Loki's stealthing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be stealth mishing it up.
I'll go with Cassius or Barbaros. Doesn't matter.
I'd love to be with my bestie, but this is for the good of the plot.
I'll go with Cassius just to make it easy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'll go with Loki and Crackstone.
No, so Frackstone's gonna be asleep, and I'm gonna follow him when he's kidnapped, and you guys are gonna be in separate teams following us.
So you would be going with Borb or
my bad.
Assim, who are not here physically right now. But their characters are.
Oh, that's right. Fraxton was passed out. So it's actually one team of 3 and another team of 2.
Okay, yeah. All right, then me, Izumi, and then Barbaros, Asim, and Orb. Let's do that.
Okay.
Make things easy. Because I think me and Izumi are pretty tanky, so just 2 of us should be all right.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So, Loki, to get yourself into a position where even if this guy is casually looking around, he doesn't see you, I'm going to need you to do a stealth check, but with advantage. You need to beat an 18. I believe.
That's my passive stealth.
Yes, that's why I'm having you roll.
Ooh.
Oh, I did pretty good.
Yeah, both of those are great. The night of the kidnapping appears. Fraxstone, you are convincingly laying down for the night, potentially actually asleep, maybe not. Loki, you have hidden yourself somewhere inside of the house, potentially inside of a box, maybe underneath a chair somewhere. You haven't actually, you didn't need to, crouch down, because you're just short. You didn't have to, pull your ears in, into, your hood or whatever. It's nighttime. Almost all of the lights are off, and pretty much everywhere near you, courtesy of Mr. Librarian Man. After a while, as Loki starts to get a little bit fatigued from waiting, the door of Fraxstone's home opens up. It just kind of slowly creaks open, and you see a cloaked figure come in holding a misty lantern. This lantern gives off a very, very small, bluish white light, but it doesn't shed it around on the ground. You see it as just somehow you see the lantern, but it's not shedding light around it, because you don't see any information about the guy. It's just cloaked figure holding a lantern. And as he comes inside and passes you by, you feel this heavy urge to close your eyes. I'm going to need a Constitution save.
From both of us or just Loki?
Just Loki.
Oh,
I'll have you roll that again, but without advantage turned on.
sorry. Oh, damn.
Based off of the distance away from the lantern, you have a fairly decently long blink. Sort of those you're really tired and you're you close your eyes for what you feel like is a split second, but you're pretty sure you closed your eyes for a good 10 seconds. And all you really saw is this guy passing you, and by the time you open your eyes again, he already has Fraxstone over his arms. Carried over his shoulder kind of thing. Fraxstone, you are passed out.
Okay.
You heard the door of your home open, and out.
I'm not.
And Loki, you're able to stay a fair distance away from this guy as you follow him down the pathway of the mountain. You hear Star Singer in your head go, "Oh, you're following them. Oh shit." He he's behind the house, and he sees you around the corner, and he, as quiet as he can, goes to take off. Let's just do a he spreads his wings and rams headfirst into a nearby house. His horn goes straight through the wall, he is stuck there for a moderate amount of time.
Mostly echo. Are you good?
He's like, I stuck.
Oh no.
You just like hear him like mentally grunting as he's trying to like kick his feet against the wall and like pull out of it. You can hear like through his connection the family on the other side is like, "There's a horn in the wall." Get the broom and see if you can get that damn bug off of the wall.
My gosh.
Starsinger will need someone else's assistance to get out of the wall. Who's carrying Gersemi?
I thought Grisemi was gonna fly
Grisemi
with
would be
Star
more-
Singer, but that's not happening anymore.
Well, then Gersemi is gonna try to help Starsinger off of the wall. Okay, Gersemi, I believe in you. Let's do a strength check.
Okay.
That's great. You're following along behind this guy. You have to stay a fair distance away, otherwise you get like super tired from whatever lantern he has. And you're winding your way down the mountain before you start going towards the northern portion. And then as soon as this guy leaves the confines of the town, he starts to pick up his pace. By the time he leaves town, Starsinger is able to with Gersemi's help, able to get out of the wall and fly back towards you. Cave teams, with the librarian's help, you were able to station yourselves in front of the caves that he believes this person is going to bring Frackstone. And even at this guy's loping pace, it takes a good 3 to 4 hours before he gets to where you are, because you are a good distance away from town. And during this time, Loki has been keeping a fairly good eye on all of this. Starsinger has been mentally berating himself for running into a building. Gersemi has been, of course, been an uplifting friend, telling him that it wasn't your fault. The house just got in the way.
That's a really small alleyway.
It's like, maybe you should have picked a different runway. Maybe you were just distracted. It could have happened to anyone. And then Starsinger's like, have you ever like buried your horn into a house? And Gersemi's like, no. I don't have horns.
I don't have a hole.
I have one horn. Or I have two horns, but not one.
They're backstep, not frontward.
That's right. Gersemi has a lisp. So I've got like the backward facing horns, not the single one that kind of points straight off of my face. So if I was supposed to run into a building, and I get my horn stuck, I did something wrong. Much like you did. Just like pats him amicably on his back. So I need Constitution saves from my cavern gang.
Okay.
Cave boys.
Con save.
Everyone else is doing a lot better. Oh.
Oh no.
Aseem.
Spoke too soon.
How dare you?
I was knocking on my desk. It's made of wood. How was I supposed to know?
You invited Murphy.
Murphy.
His word is not law.
But
But his actions are.
Whoa.
Oh, that is just a straight D20 from Borb.
Ooh.
Wow.
Come on, Barbaros, you can wake them up.
I zoned out. What happened?
Need a Constitution save so that you can resist falling asleep due to a magical lantern.
Oh.
And I believe I disabled all the blessedness.
Dang.
I really hope they're heading in our direction.
Well, that is all.
7, dude.
That is all three of your party that is participating with Barbaros asleep.
Oh, everyone follows. Oh no.
Loki, as you pass by their group, even though the guy doesn't notice them being there, you notice that three of your companions are now currently passed out.
Mm-hmm.
Loki, you have the choice of either having the unicorn try to wake them up, or you wake them up.
And we're like right at the entrance of the caves.
Yes, he passed by their cave and is now heading towards where Azumi and Cassius is.
Well, I think Starsinger would feel a bit better if he had a chance to redeem himself, and I also promise not to leave Fraxstone alone. So they're gonna get the hooves. And I'm gonna keep doing what I was doing.
So, Starsinger gives you a very hooved salute up in the air and says, "I got this." And Giuseppe says, "You got this," and then like follows along. Loki, you're doing your like little hop run.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even show you on the world map where you are. As we zoom in, you're like right there. You are a fair distance north, and like more like northwestish of the Erie. Getting into
this is
both.
where we're coming from?
So you started here, and then you moved to the northwest towards the border of Zalashtar and Ephraim.
Wow.
That's pretty good long distance, actually.
The asleep team gets treated to the effects of what happens when you get booped by a unicorn horn. You're awake now, but you're also rainbowy.
I'm rainbow.
Your clothing for the next 10 minutes will be rippling in rainbow light.
Ooh.
The unicorn foal, which is what Starsinger looks like now, says, "You're welcome." And like does like a horsey kind of bow and hesitatingly turns to take off before he succeeds. He's like,
my boy.
He's his entire inner monologue is, "There's no houses nearby. There's no houses nearby. I don't think my horn can break through stone. There are no houses nearby."
Argumento, good job.
Yeah.
So is Cassius and I the only ones awake?
So it's after Loki passes by that Starsinger is able to wake up the team, and with Starsinger's help, Barbaros, Asim, and Borb can follow Starsinger towards where Loki is. Loki, you are loping behind this guy as he brings Frackstone directly towards the cave that Izumi and Cassius are camped outside of. All three of you are there. You can either prevent this guy from bringing Frackstone into the cave, or don't.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd like to go into the cave.
Your group hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What say you?
Let's go in the cave.
Well,
Okay.
it's either prevent Frackstone from going in and like stop this guy, or follow the guy in.
Let's follow him in.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna let you see what the interior of this cave looks like
Ooh.
before we stop for the evening. Because this is getting into combat territory, and I would like everyone else to be there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the interior of your cave. You are towards the bottom right of the page, since I'm pretty sure you started at like the top right, or the top left, or whatever.
Oh no.
I see nothing.
Combat.
If you scroll out a bunch, you should be able to see where your character's token is.
That's a lot of friendly faces.
Uh-huh. As you enter the cave behind the guy carrying Frackstone, those of you who can see in the dark, other than Frackstone, is able to see that there are a lot of shambling corpses. There's a lot of undead inside this here cave.
Let's burn them.
And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
Ooh.
Cliffhanger.